Welcome to U.S. Briefing. The content of the briefing includes where things go for the Biden administration amid the Israel-Hamas war. PwC's U.S. boss to quit as race to lead Big Four firm accelerates. This strength won't persist. 4 takeaways from China's trade data in September. The Real Martin Crane, why John Mahoney was so much more than Frasier's dad. Jennifer Aniston naked, Reese Witherspoon in space, how the morning show lost the plot. Where things go for the Biden administration amid the Israel-Hamas war. The Globe and Mail. U.S. President Joe Biden must confront a number of challenges as he supports Israel in its fight against Hamas. These include the potential involvement of Iran or Hezbollah, the presence of American hostages among Hamas's captives, and the worsening humanitarian crisis in Gaza. Despite these obstacles, Biden is determined to defend a key ally and fight anti-Semitism. The U.S. has dispatched warships and fighter jets to the eastern Mediterranean, warned Iran to be careful, and authorized shipments of ammunition and missiles to Israel. Biden has also called on Israel to respect the laws of war and allow civilians to escape the fighting. PwC's U.S. boss to quit as race to lead Big Four firm accelerates. Financial Times. Tim Ryan, the U.S. head of PwC, will leave the firm next June after facing resistance from some colleagues to his candidacy to become global chair. Ryan had been widely tipped to succeed Bob Moritz, whose second 4-year term as global chair is set to expire next year. The head of PwC US has historically been elevated to the global chairmanship. However, opponents of Ryan included senior partners outside the US, signaling a potential shift in the power dynamics of PwC's global network. The race to lead the global firm is now open. This strength won't persist. 4 takeaways from China's trade data in September. South China Morning Post. China's exports fell for the 5th consecutive month in September, dropping by 6.2% YoY to $299.1 billion, although this was slower than the 8.8% fall in August. Exports to China's largest trading partner, the Association of Southeast Asian Nations, contracted by 15.82% last month, whilst shipments to the US and EU fell by 9.34% and 11.61%, respectively. China's imports also fell for the 7th consecutive month in September, declining by 6.2% to $221.4 billion, with HSBC economists stating that imports were weighed down by persistent weakness in global demand. The Real Martin Crane, why John Mahoney was so much more than Frasier's dad. Telegraph. The revival of the beloved sitcom Frasier has been met with excitement and anticipation. However, fans have wondered which characters from the original series will be absent in the new show. It has been confirmed that Niles and Daphne will not be returning, and there are rumors that actors David Hyde Pierce and Jane Leeves were not interested in participating. One mainstay character who will be missing is Martin Crane, played by the late John Mahoney, who passed away in 2018. Martin was a key part of the show, grounding the highbrow antics of Frasier and Niles with his blue-collar persona. Kelsey Grammer, who stars as Frasier, has acknowledged the importance of John Mahoney's character and his contribution to the show. He stated that the new series would honor Mahoney's memory and his impact on the acting profession. The first episode of the revival pays explicit homage to Mahoney, with a scene that is devoid of laughter and meant to be a tribute to his character. John Mahoney had a remarkable acting career, with notable roles in films such as Moonstruck and Say Anything. However, it was his role as Martin Crane in Frasier that truly defined his career. Mahoney's portrayal of the lovable and unpretentious father added warmth and heart to the show. He was proud of his work on Frasier and felt that it was just as prestigious and artistic as doing a play. Mahoney's death was a loss to the acting world, and his absence in the revival will be felt deeply. Jennifer Aniston naked, Reese Witherspoon in space, how the morning show lost the plot. Telegraph. The Morning Show, a popular television series on Apple TV+, has been described as hysterical and bonkers in its 3rd season. The show, which stars Jennifer Aniston and Reese Witherspoon, follows the dramas and scandals of a morning news program. In the latest season, the show takes on real-world events such as the COVID-19 pandemic and the January 6 Capitol riots. However, the show is also known for its over-the-top and unpredictable plot lines. For example, one episode features a love scene between Aniston's character and a character based on Elon Musk. Additionally, the show has been praised for addressing serious issues such as racism in the workplace. The show's wild and unpredictable nature has been both praised and criticized, but it has certainly kept viewers entertained. The 3rd season of The Morning Show is currently airing, and it remains to be seen what other unexpected twists and turns the show will take. SEC to require short-selling data after softening proposed rule. Financial Times. U.S. financial regulators have adopted new rules that require lenders of securities to publicly report new loans and modifications to existing ones. The move aims to bring greater transparency to the practice of short selling, where investors borrow stocks and bonds to sell before buying them back at a lower price. The data will be published the day after the trades are made, with individual loan amounts published 20 business days later. The original proposal for near real-time data had faced pushback from Wall Street, with concerns over competition and the bespoke nature of many securities loans. Giants rule out Daniel Jones for Sunday's game against Bills. Yahoo! New York Giants quarterback Daniel Jones has been ruled out of the team's game against the Buffalo Bills due to a neck injury. Jones did not practice this week and is not yet ready to play. Tyrod Taylor will start at quarterback in his absence. Head coach Brian Daboll also ruled out 3 offensive linemen and stated that running back Saquon Barkley is closer to playing this week than last week. Outside linebacker Azeez Ojulari will also not play. Rudolph Isley. The Guardian. Rudolph Isley, a member of the Isley brothers, has died at the age of 84. The Isley brothers were known for their hits across 6 decades, from Shout in 1959 to Contagious in 2001. Rudolph was part of the group from their beginnings in 1954 until he left to become a Baptist minister in 1989. The Isley brothers had hits in various genres of Black American popular music, including doo-wop, funk, and soul. Although Rudolph was not the regular lead voice, he occasionally appeared as the lead singer on songs such as It's a Disco Night. The Isley brothers began their singing career in the church, under the guidance of their parents. They moved to New York in 1957 and signed with RCA Victor in 1959. Their song Shout reached the US Top 50 and became a template for young white rock and pop musicians. They formed their own label, T-Neck, in 1964 and later signed with Motown Records. They had a US Top 20 hit with This Old Heart of Mine. The Isley brothers were inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in 1992. And that's a wrap on today's news. Let's take a moment to reflect on what we've learned. In international news, President Biden is facing several challenges as he supports Israel in its fight against Hamas. From potential involvement of Iran or Hezbollah to the worsening humanitarian crisis in Gaza, there's a lot on his plate. But Biden is determined to defend a key ally and fight anti-Semitism, taking actions such as dispatching warships and fighter jets and authorizing shipments of ammunition and missiles to Israel. In business news, PwC's U.S. boss, Tim Ryan, will be leaving the firm next year after facing resistance to his candidacy for global chair. This could potentially shift the power dynamics of PwC's global network, as the race for global chair is now open. Meanwhile, China's trade data in September showed a decline in exports and imports, reflecting the persistent weakness in global demand. Moving on to entertainment, the revival of the sitcom Frasier has fans buzzing, but some beloved characters will be missing. Niles, Daphne, and the late John Mahoney's character, Martin Crane, won't be returning. However, Kelsey Grammer has assured that the new series will honor Mahoney's memory. And speaking of television shows, The Morning Show has been described as hysterical and bonkers in its latest season, with unpredictable plotlines and unexpected twists. In other news, U.S. financial regulators have adopted new rules to bring greater transparency to short selling, requiring lenders of securities to publicly report new loans and modifications. On the sports front, New York Giants quarterback Daniel Jones has been ruled out of Sunday's game due to a neck injury. And in the music world, Rudolph Isley of the Isley Brothers has passed away at the age of 84, leaving behind a legacy of hits across 6 decades. Phew, that was quite a mix of news today. As always, I'd love to hear your thoughts and questions. What do you make of Biden's challenges in the Israel-Hamas conflict? Are you excited about the Frasier revival? And what do you think about the morning show's wild plotlines? Join the discussion, and let me know what's on your mind. Thank you for tuning in. The content above showcases the latest briefing reports and analytical synopses, thoughtfully curated by the 6Do team. These insights stem from a wide array of reputable media outlets, think tanks, government sources, and specialized experts worldwide. We encourage you to explore these sources for a comprehensive perspective. Keep in mind that while the content may not always align with the official standpoint of 6Do Brief, it's not meant to be taken as absolute directives for decision-making. Comprising seasoned media professionals, learned scholars, and accomplished scientists, the 6Do team embodies a trailblazing, fully independent media entity. To customize 6Do Brief to meet your professional needs, you have the option to subscribe to a diverse array of briefings on our website, 6dobrief.com. Regardless of your location, you can conveniently receive 6Do Brief via email.